Hi, everybody. Welcome to Tea for Lunch, a weekly show powered by Arcade.
Each week, we'll serve you the top stories we're following in social media, celebrity, and tech in 15 minutes or less. You can catch the show live on Instagram on Thursdays at about 12 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, about there, or on all podcast providers and YouTube on Fridays. We are your hosts this week, Harry and
Miu.
Miu. This is your first time being on Tea for Lunch.
It is. I'm a little nervous.
How are you feeling like 10 seconds in?
10 seconds in? I'm not sure. I'm still good, I guess.
Awesome. Cool. I'll check in every 10 seconds.
Sure,
or so.
sure. Yeah. That would help.
What's new?
I guess right now I'm on reading break.
Nice. Good.
That's the only reason I'm on Tea for Lunch, because usually during this time I'm at school. I'm learning.
This is a rare guest appearance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But now I get to teach. I'm a prof now.
We love to see it. We surpassed 100 episodes as of this one, so now anything can happen.
It's all because of me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What else is up? You watching anything lately, or?
Right now I'm watching the show Beef. I haven't quite finished it, but I heard you finished it, and it's fantastic.
Right? I watched it over the course of like 3 days, and it is just phenomenal. I'm kind of at this point where like, I don't think A24 can do anything wrong. Like, everything that they've put out from their movies to their shows, I've just been like, it's good. And not only is that kind of like the base level of it's good, it just like then surpasses that. And it's like, oh, it's amazing. Oh, it's the best thing I've ever seen. And so, I'm just like not surprised at this point. Like when I saw that Beef was an A24 show, I was like, okay, I'm going in already with a confirmation bias that I really like the production studio. And the show itself just like completely blew me away. It was just such a interesting take on just like the domino effect.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. The positive confirmation bias. That's always good.
Yeah. Should we hop into the sip?
Yeah, let's do it.
Sweet.
Okay, it's time for the sip, your weekly rundown of the top stories happening in social media. First one is Instagram is testing adding limits to how many hashtags you can add per post. And Instagram is testing carousels for Reels videos. YouTube has announced updates to the Mobile Studio app that includes mobile uploads, gift memberships, and product tagging. And finally, Meta's rolling out a new Meta verified comment filtering option on Facebook and Instagram. Thoughts?
A lot happening in Meta. I think the Instagram carousel for Reels thing is, I don't know, it's giving deja vu, as most Instagram updates kind of tend to. Okay, here's the thing. I think Flipside was kind of like the first original idea Instagram has had in a long time, and everything else just kind of feels like they're like, oh, TikTok made this, and then they hold on to it and they're like, we made this. We did this. So, cool, interesting. It's interesting. That's my word of the day, apparently.
Yeah.
I just think we already have carousels on Instagram. Like we already have scrolling photos that you can set to music. And so I just think like doing the Reels like slideshow thing, I'm just going to have to get like really good at multi-directional thumb scrolling. I'm going to like start hitting like hand PRs.
You'll have a different thumb muscle after this
exactly.
update.
Yeah. What do you think about it?
I don't know. I think it's good. Like for technology, especially social media, I think they go in a circle. Like sometimes, they'll update it this way and it'll be really useful. And then they'll find, it's not as useful during a certain, year or period that they're testing, and then they go back. Whatever works, I guess.
That's true. We have seen Instagram like roll things out and then kind of like backpedal them a little bit and then like kind of chameleon them into a new thing or like something that was big that they came out with. Like they'll then later release as like a feature of like another bigger thing. So that's pretty cool.
It's cool. Yeah. And I think it's cool when you're the one that gets to test the, new feature, with quotations.
Yeah, definitely. It was funny too, because like I saw that Flipside rolled out and then I was like, oh, I have access to Flipside. And then I saw a news article recently that was like, Flipside might not be like a fully released thing. And I was like, oh, like maybe that was like a clickbait article, or maybe I got like beta access. And I was like, interesting. Should we hop into our first story?
Yeah, let's do it.
Sweet. So for our first story, the People's Choice Awards aired this past weekend, and there were some interesting moments. I think the big one we're seeing talked about online is Billie Eilish chatting with Kylie Minogue about there being just a ton of TikTokers in the building. Of course, we don't really know like how she felt about the social stars being present, but the internet is certainly kind of taking some classic context stuff and running with it. And so we'll chat a bit more about that in a minute. But other notable moments included Adam Sandler winning the People's Icon Award with a hilarious speech about confusing the honor with People's Sexiest Man Alive Award. He is an icon. We all agree on this, or we need to agree on this. Adam Sandler's the GOAT. We also saw Lenny Kravitz take home the Music Award, and Barbie won Top Movie Prize. Other big winners included Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, Ice Spice, Beyonce, Jennifer Aniston, and more. Wow.
That's a lot.
It sounds eventful. I haven't thought about the People's Choice Awards in ages.
Yeah.
So it's cool to see them making a splash, and also people getting awards and me being like, oh, I don't even know what this is for, but I align with it. I like this person. So especially Adam Sandler. Yeah, he's just... He really reinvented himself with Uncut Gems, in my opinion, and he's just he's back in his peak era, the way he was in like Wedding Singer and like 50 First Dates and stuff.
I feel like he's just living his best life. He seems like the same person on camera and off camera at the exact same time.
Exactly, like he's
just has a different name for every movie.
He's just like a cool guy. This is also interesting, given that TikTok creators are kind of like getting some buzz at the People's Choice Awards, because they're tending to appear at more events, like the Met Gala back a couple of years ago. I think it was 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I don't know, a time span window of the past. Addison Rae was invited, and people kind of felt their way about that. Me. But I guess the TikTok CEO has a table and gets to invite people this year, which is really interesting. But I think I kind of get it, and I kind of also have to I have to challenge a little bit of a like protective feeling that I have over the Met Gala, because it's like it is a night of like art and fashion and celebrity isms aside, it's like I'm just like, okay, is this staying true to like the timelessness of the things that the Met Gala is known for, or is it just kind of like Anna Wintour inviting certain people because like relevancy is also as important, especially in this day and age. I feel like the last good Met Gala that I saw was the 2018 Christian Dior Heavenly Bodies. And then I feel like since then, it's like it's been hard for people to kind of, stick to the theme or like understand the plot a little bit. So I'm just like, well, we'll see how it goes forward, especially with more like online celebrities kind of taking the seats of people who, like seats at the Met Gala that, might have belonged to A-list celebrities in the past. So we'll see. But I'll work through that on my own time and I'll report back.
Do you think that's who he's inviting? Like the CEO of TikTok? Like he's just going to invite other TikTokers? Or
I think so.
Who's on the list
which I kind of like. It's like, these are the people that make your platform what it is. Like, you may as well give them their flowers in a big way. And if that means like allowing them to network and bringing them to large scale events like the Met Gala, it's like, you got to do right by the people who like make your platform what it is. Like it's only fair.
Yeah, it's cool. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Next up, Walmart is trying to acquire Vizio in a $2.3 billion deal. So essentially, Walmart is planning to acquire that TV maker Vizio. Rumors of the deal emerged last week, and Walmart now says the acquisition is official and part of the move to boost its ad business. The acquisition allows Walmart to connect with its SmartCast operating system, aka get access to Vizio's more than 500 direct advertising partnerships. Vizio's Smart TV OS is used by more than 18 million active accounts. Wow.
Interesting.
What are they doing?
Yeah. What are they cooking up? I have always kind of seen Walmart as just like, this is a supermarket company that also sells other things. But seeing them step into the ad world and also like more so the branded tech world, because it's like, they sell technology, but them being like, we're gonna, make our fingerprint like in this as a brand in this market. I think that's, I don't know. It was not on my bingo card. Like I just did not see it coming.
Yeah.
But I think it could be cool. Stepping into the ad worlds is like it seems like something that people and companies, I don't know, want to start doing more of. I don't know. It's a redundant statement, but yeah.
I feel like it's an interesting story. I mean, I remember reading articles from last year saying that Walmart was trying to get into the ad space. And one of the ways that they were doing it was through, this isn't through like acquiring a TV maker, not quite as big, but they would advertise in their electronics section on the TVs of just different products that they had in the store, which is kind of like a cool way to sell space that they already had.
Totally.
As well as like adding small advertisements on the self-checkout screens. So like maybe in the corner or something, they would advertise, the deal of the week or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of cool that they, it's evolved quite a bit and they're doing different things. And this is going to allow them to, have even more access and maybe even sell more screen space to more advertisers.
Well, and it makes sense too, kind of like the former point you made, because it's like they're doing that like in their spaces, right? And now to kind of like take it an out of home direction. I don't know. All I gotta say is like buckle up, Roku. You got some big competition coming your way.
Fair enough.
And finally, were you really on the internet this past weekend if you didn't get sucked into the 52-part series by creator Risa Tisa? So basically, she went on a date with a guy. He told her he was a VP of a company and he had just moved for his job, had a lot of money, etc. Over COVID, they quarantined together and started looking for houses, but there was always a reason why like the house sale kind of fell through. So eventually, some extra stuff kept happening, and like basically everything that she was told has kind of been a lie. So the story itself is pretty wild, but for our purposes, we want to chat about it as just kind of an example of a successful marriage and of long and short form content. So the user now has 2 million followers and received over 170 million views on the videos. And many users are now kind of sharing their own content related to the series, further amplifying this initial user's channel. So why did this work? Like, was it just kind of a wild story, or was the format is the format what brought viewers in?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know if this is duplicatable.
It's kind of giving like early YouTube clickbait title type stuff. Like I feel like we're kind of seeing a return to form of internet content that essentially sucks you in, and then you're just kind of along for the ride because A, doom scrolling, and B, you're just like, maybe this is actually kind of interesting, but it's like the initial like reaction you get from like how they preface the video or whatever. And I just feel like, I don't know, telling enticing stories for content is like pretty marketable and, can be quite profitable. If you look at like kind of a far polarizing end of the spectrum, like if you look at true crime TikTok creators, where they're, making content out of things that have happened and people are watching it because of the content, and also like how the person telling the story is engaging with the audience and that kind of thing. So I see like this is definitely a lot less morbid version of that, but it is very similar to just kind of turning drama into content, and we all kind of get to feel like we're a part of like this, friend group gossip session. And, I'm going to be honest, I don't really know how I feel about it. I think it's just like, it's a little strange to like air things out on the internet, because we all know that like the internet is forever. And just to, kind of put wind behind sails of like a small interpersonal thing for the internet. I don't know. I feel like it's putting something in public that maybe could have some pretty rough consequences, like doxing and things like that. So,
but I mean, in her case, do you think she did it on purpose? Like, I mean, she didn't have like a huge following before
No, that's true. Like
releasing the series.
it could be like a really strategic strategy to kind of like brand herself as a content creator or something. And maybe like, I don't want to discredit the fact that this actually happened, but just more so maybe that she was like, this is the jump point for me to like really start doing what I want to start doing on this platform. So yeah, I don't know. I'll have to think about it a bit more, but
Fair enough. Well, we're happy for her success.
totally.
Well, now that we've had we've whet your appetite, go eat something more substantial.
Sustainable. Cheers.
Both of them. There you go.
See ya. Thanks.